Okay, we can start our February 23rd Parks and Rec meeting. We'll start with roll call. Tim Weber, President here. Wendy Kuehl, Vice President.
Here.
Frank Blaine, Secretary, is absent with notice. New appointee, Chad Morrison.
Here.
Duncan Woodhull.
Here.
Council Rep, Keith Carlson.
Yes.
And City Employee Rep, Craig Wagner.
Here.
Very good. All right, so we can start with approval of the agenda. If anybody wants to make a motion to approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I will second it.
Very good. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Agenda approved. And then we can approve, take a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes from January 26th. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good. And then, now we're on presentation of appointment and certificate. Chad Morrison, welcome to the Parks and Rec board here. So, this is an official certificate from Mayor Arden Jones. He's absent today, but we
Look
can
this way, we'll
take a
get a
picture.
nice
All right,
picture
you'll get a nice
of
shirt
it.
like this.
Record and everything, it's on order. All right.
We're good.
Thank you.
So Chad's been involved, for you guys that don't know, with Humboldt baseball programs for quite a while now, so he might have some helpful insight with us on our concession stands and stuff like that. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth, but might be a good guy to at least pick his brain on how they're running stuff over there.
See what I
so.
know or remember.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Good. So now we can open up for public input, non-agenda items, and I believe we have the chamber here to speak about some lights, right, that you guys want to put up, and...
I'm way at the bottom, but if you want to...
Oh, you are on the agenda, okay, very good.
We're gonna do
So,
action, she's on the.
Perfect,
Okay.
perfect. So other public input, unless you have any other public items you want to
Nope.
speak about, all right. We have nobody here for public input, so we can move on past that. Straight into reports, updates from council staff members on any non-agenda items. I don't know if we have anything, non-agenda items that we need to talk about.
I know you were approved for your money that you asked for most of it.
Yes, so that came out in an email, we got approval of the funds of everything we had allocated, and then we still have the additional funds that the city gave us that they did not approve us to spend yet, so obviously they want us to come with a plan, like, hey,
Yeah,
this is what
basically
we're
just
looking
come
for,
up
so.
with how you're gonna spend it.
But
and
that's
come back to 'em.
great news for Craig, because we can get stuff ordered and get the ball rolling on projects as they're coming in the spring, and keep moving forward. Anything else to add on that, Craig?
No, it's been a nice winter. We've been getting a lot of spring things already taken care of. so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
You guys are really kicking butt on putting tin on those shelters too, it looks
Yeah.
like, so.
Get started again tomorrow.
Yeah, very good. All right, and then we can move on to old business, Swenson Park. On the Swenson Park front, we have the concession stand discussion, maintenance fee for field usage discussion, and advertisement agreements update. So I know that Duncan has to get out of here for his day job pretty soon, so I'm gonna just let Duncan take it away on what he's got for advertising, anything there, and then we can talk more on if there's anything else on the agreement that we wanna put up.
Perfect, thank you, sir. Yeah, on a good note, we've got, advertising that was done and directly with Teresa. We have commitments of $5,800. I have been able to get commitments from 10 businesses to the tune of $19,800. And those I've handed to Teresa, and she's in the process of getting the graphics and art and all that kind of good stuff. And then we just got a donation today from a company called A1 Portable Toilets. They just simply wanted to do a donation of $500. That was nice. Gave me a check, so that's good. And I've got probably 4 or 5 more in the hopper. Dave and Buster's, actually. I Guy called me and said, yeah, I'll just get this by legal and I'll be working on an agreement with you. Great shots. That guy called me too. So that's very promising. Sioux Valley Energy. That decision's made out of Coleman.
Coleman.
Sorry, but the gal's been good about getting back to me, so, and I've got a few others, so my goal is to get us to commitments over a 3-year period of 25 grand at least. And then I've got 8 on my list that know this year, but certainly said that I could reach out to them next year for 2027, so. And I'll keep going, I'll keep fishing. I like the hunt, so. But anyway, that's, I think, so far so good, I would say.
Very good, good job. Is that 5,800 current, and then you got an additional 19.8, or is the 19?
Yeah, well, the 5,800 was people like Sunshine, You Guy, Reliabank, Bus, American Truck, although Frank and I had talked to American Truck, but he just reached out to Teresa directly. That's why, and then Crestman, those were all
Already here.
already
You have a
in the.
breakdown in
Very
your
good.
packet.
Yeah, those were already in
Those
the
are all the
hopper.
current.
Yep, yep.
The only thing not on there is just, like he said, tonight A1 gave that $500 donation.
Yeah,
so-
perfect.
so Teresa will be updating the spreadsheet, but it'll include, thank you Travis Electric, Jesse Fonker, Solid Rock, Allen Edge, Coffee Cup, Black Tie, Tammon, Creekside, The Goat, Hartford Building Center. And then, and I'm talking to others too, so.
Perfect.
But, anyway, I think it's been good.
Excellent job.
Like I said, my goal is to get over 25. Keep in mind, this should be a 3-year commitment of money, but it'll go to help offset our field maintenance cost of, what'd you say, Craig, about 35 grand a year?
I think that's what it was, yeah.
So, and what, the other thing I'm thinking about, and I'll be done, is that, you know, once people see those banners out there, you know, that's a good look. They see that the businesses are supporting the community, and hopefully that'll spawn more opportunities
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
engagement for us.
How much is a banner in the, is it for the outfield fences up at Swenson, is that what it is?
Yeah, we have two options. A banner on an annual basis is $500. A banner for a 3-year commitment would be $400. So we knock $100 off as long as you give us a 3-year commitment. And we added that in just because, so we didn't have to redo the graphics every year.
Yep, yeah.
And then a scoreboard is $1,000, and we're knocking off $100 if they want to do a 3-year commitment on the scoreboard. So. Oh, I should say DQ, I've got DQ in the hopper. Lonnie, he told me he was gonna do something, so. Lonnie's got 8 stores and counting, so he's kinda hard to pin down, but no, I met with him and he said I'm definitely gonna do something. So I hope to get, like I said, to that 25 grand plus. I think I will. How about that? Anyway, that's my report.
Very good. So we can go back up to the concession stand discussion, and this is a good one to bring Chad in on, so that he understands where we're at. And I'll just give you kind of an overview. Up at the ball fields up at Swenson Park, they were asking for a concession stand. And so the board got together here, and this was actually, they were building it the first year I started. So before I was here, but they approved it, they got a concession stand with some storage and bathrooms. And the concession stands are set up for, pretty much anybody can come in and pass any food requirements to serve hot food as they want. They got a mop bucket, they got the double sink, they got outlets, they got everything there that they need. And so we set it up for them, and really it's in between the softball field, so it's pretty softball focused. It's kind of a ways away from,
Yeah, I've seen,
yeah, the football fields and stuff. And then since building it, it's been like pulling teeth to get anybody that wants to step up to work the concessions or run it or anything. So
Yeah.
we're trying to brainstorm on how we incentivize, and even last year we opened it up and we said, and anybody can have this. We opened it up for public bid. if it was a $0 bid, you can run a full business out of there and keep all the profits yourself. We don't really care, we just wanna make sure it's being utilized, so.
Gotcha.
And it was just hard to get anybody in there. And it sounds like maybe we got more traction this year and getting somebody in there, or.
So yeah, in my report, I did earlier this week meet with Dave Dressing, he has the Main Street Bar in Humboldt. It sounds like he is interested in doing the concessions this year. We kind of went over the different game schedules, what is booked now for West Central softball games, there's 4 games already booked, and then kind of what it was utilized, by the softballs for games or whatnot, and then we talked about, when those games are going on, you'll have soccer practices out there, like football and various other things, but, we really like to see the games covered. Talked about possibly, there was at least one tournament out there, looks like we might have a couple tournaments this coming year, so he sounds like he's very interested in doing it. I need to confirm with him here in March again. He says, well, let's double check that, because he was going to take the information I gave him as far as game schedules and that, kind of look it over. He has experience, I guess, he has done concession stands before, and he has staffing that's available to do stuff like that. So he was gonna look all that over. I'm supposed to, after the 1st of March, touch base with them again, like I said, but it sounds like just our initial meeting that he would do it. He would want it to be exclusive, though, and which I don't blame him. If he goes in there, he's not gonna want another group trying to sell and compete against him, or he wants the tournaments too, that's where you make money, so that makes sense, whatnot. So, I will hopefully, by early March, be able to give you an update, and he said, he's proposing though, like he said, this year, let's see how, not paying anything back to the city, seeing how it goes, seeing if he makes a profit or whatnot, and then, if everything goes well this year, maybe future years, then, revving it up some more, doing some additional nights, weekends, whatever, maybe paying a percentage back to the city. But I said, kind of like you said, we're pulling teeth trying to get anybody to even do it this past year. Nobody wanted to do it, and I said, at this point, I think the board and the council just want to see it utilized. We've got a brand new building out there that's sitting, not getting utilized, so we definitely want to see somebody in there selling concessions, so. So knock on wood, I think we got somebody, but I'll be able, after I talk with them after March, let you guys know for sure.
He runs a couple businesses, I believe he's got the bar, and then I think he's got a steakhouse in Geddes, maybe.
Yep, he does, yeah.
I don't know if
He's
he's
got,
got.
another one.
Yeah, one other.
What's
I was
that?
saying, I think he has a few,
Yeah.
2 or 3.
There's another one like outside of Lennox.
Yeah, so he's knows what he's doing with food at least, right? He's got
Yeah,
experience in it.
he's got vendors he can buy food from and whatnot, and like I said, he's got access to staffing, so that helps, and
Yeah.
whatnot there, so.
So we're moving in the right direction here.
Yeah,
It's big.
I'll update you as soon as I learn more.
Next item here is the maintenance fee for field usage, and I'll give you another overview here, Chad, so you can catch up, but like you heard Craig say, it costs the city historically, it's been about $35,000 a year to maintain the fields, and we do get some things donated to us, like the softball team, they donate field chalk for their games, at least, right? And there's some other examples too, but this, as we grow and get more facilities, that number just gets bigger, and with inflation, it gets bigger, so we're just trying to find ways to offset the cost. And one thing we're struggling with is how do we assign the cost, especially with teams that are like just here for practice and then they play all their games in Sioux Falls. If we start assigning cost, are they going to just use the space without getting on the schedule? Are they going to go to the public parks and start using it where we don't exactly want them hitting baseballs? Or how do we get a fair price, get the maintenance kind of not 100% covered, but maybe subsidized or maybe worked into, and we're just trying to kind of work that in. We got a high school that uses the softball fields, we got independent softball, we got flag football, we got soccer, kind of a lot of groups using that, so that's the general thing we're trying to wrap our head around, and we've thought about, a per kid type thing, but then they're trying to get how many kids are out for your sport. We know like flag football, they advertise on their sign-up sheet, like, a portion of this goes to field maintenance and usage, and but we haven't seen
And they
any of
don't
it,
pay
so we're like,
anything.
well, if you're advertising it, we probably should be looking at it, so. So yeah, that's where we're at, just trying to figure out, and then identifying, you know, what's an amenity and what should be free and what should be compensated, so.
Are there any leagues in Hartford, run any leagues, softball leagues, or
So
like the
it'd be-
games that get played there, is it through Hartford?
Yeah, so it's the Hartford area softball, but then they are, I think that they're like sub-league under the Sioux Falls softball, in some way, right? So I know like the younger kids that play just in the main park here, they just generally play in Hartford, but then like I think once you're like 10U and older, they're kind of going mostly to Sioux Falls, or maybe they're hitting surrounding communities. And it's not just Hartford that struggles with this. Sioux Falls is having a time figuring out how to deal with these groups too, so trying to make it fair, so. Just ongoing discussions we've had, and it's like every time you come up with an answer, it's hard to make it fair, so. That's the main thing.
And now that we've started selling the advertising for these banners, like we talked about, that has helped, that is generating some revenue. We just started that this last year, and so now got quite a few more. I mean, that can help offset some of that cost too, so you know, the more we get of that too, that's nice having that revenue. Yeah, stream that can come into the park and rec, resort, yeah.
But yeah, so, anybody else have any ideas or any updates they want to throw at that one?
No.
So, I guess probably the hardest group for us to assess would be the soccer group, in my opinion, because most of that is through DASC, which is out of Brandon, I believe, right? Or, I mean, Harrisburg. And so all these communities, they all go practice in their own community, and then they all play. And actually, most of them are playing like in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, I think they play most of the games in Sioux Falls.
So I think,
So DAS gets all the money because they're providing the league
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff, but
Yeah.
then they utilize.
yeah, every small town's deal, and even like, I know Sioux Falls, their parks department had, they were struggling with it too, and they went back to DASC, and after negotiating, ended up with less kickback from DASC than they originally had, so they're very, I don't know how they negotiated that or what happened, but at this point, like Sioux Falls, yes, Sioux Falls has invested, you know, like, they've invested heavily into these soccer fields, like big soccer places, and it's like along the interstate everywhere around 229 is soccer, so if DASC was just like, yeah, well, we just won't go there anymore, I'm sure Sioux Falls wouldn't like that either, but it's like.
Yeah, we actually met at least a year ago with the other association, like softball, I think West Central Baseball too, and soccer and play football. I think everybody but soccer were okay with like tacking on a little bit of fee, like maybe per child, to kind of help offset that, as long as it's nothing ridiculous. But soccer was a no, well, we can't do that, well, that's not really fair then to the other organizations if you don't have soccer, you know, because they, I mean, they literally every night practice out there. So.
They're the hardest ones on the fields.
Yeah, I'm just saying, they're hard, yeah, exactly,
Right.
hard on the field, so.
So then you
kinda
can,
hard,
you
yeah.
can, like, as they sign up, you can be like, all right, well, we have to take $5 per kid to practice here, and are other communities doing that? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, but, maybe, you know, if all communities were doing that, then it would be a big deal, and it's not. But then also does, you know, how far does $5 per kid go? Something like that.
Is the flag football associated with Hartford, or is it a Kirk's thing, or do we have our?
It's not associated with the school at all.
What about-
Or the city,
Yeah.
I think it is their own organization that they started here in Hartford. It's not associated with Crooks, but I mean, it's not city affiliated or, you know, with the school or anything. It's just a group of parents who started their own league here.
So yeah, that's another option you could go with, but then you'd almost have to have like a city athletic director that just manages all the sports, and then you could have all of the money running through the city, and then you could allocate it as needed, you know, but, that's
Yeah.
probably a full-time position, that would have to be hired to manage that. And then
Sounds like you could.
the Iceplex man.
Mr. Iceplex, I'm about to excuse myself. so.
We'll look at it when you're done.
He'll tell me what I gotta do with it.
Which, in an ideal world, I think that's how it would work. Every community would have their own, like, AD that runs everything, and you just match up with communities, you set up game schedules and stuff, but that's a hard thing to do.
That's kind of how the baseball is for Humboldt. It's all different communities, so they pay to play the league.
Yep.
And then they play in Humboldt, they play in Dells, they play in all the surrounding towns, and then they're able to collect,
Yep,
through league fees.
yeah,
Now, they get provided stuff too.
Yep.
They get provided some equipment and uniforms and, yeah.
who manages that league normally?
There's like a MINDAC league, and there's a couple other leagues too, just based on age divisions.
Okay.
And then somebody does run those leagues.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah. I don't know who that would be.
So then, like, when you were on, like, when you're on the baseball team, if you're like the head of your baseball team, are you signing up for the league and then telling your players, like, hey, we either got to fundraise or we got to pay to be part of this league, or how do you guys get your funding?
From like a Humboldt perspective,
Just from the players.
or like from an amateur perspective?
Yeah, yeah.
Ours is different because we're
Okay.
not in the association. So
Okay.
we handle all our costs,
Gotcha.
but then recently we've gotten asked to pay to use the field.
Okay,
So we pay per game to use the field for home
Okay.
games.
gotcha.
Yeah, but all the other teams do not because they're part of the association, so then they pay their, it's just like a registration fee.
Yep,
Like
yep.
if whoever's going to play for DASC, they're paying their registration fee, they get to use the facility. That's how it works there.
Okay.
And then the association, like Humboldt, would pay the MINDAC League, for example. Dells would pay the MINDAC League, other towns would pay.
So all the kids are playing, like, they're all paying Humboldt, and then Humboldt's paying the league?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. And then their scheduling's all set up through that MINDAC League, we'll use that for an example.
Yep.
And then they rotate, okay, Humboldt, Dells, you might play, those surrounding towns.
Yep.
Where Sioux Falls is kind of has all the softball, all the soccer, and then not really utilizing your town for games.
Exactly.
That makes it tough.
Yeah, yeah. And that's how it is for softball and soccer. I think both, they're pretty much all in Sioux Falls, right?
So primarily everything's practices out here.
Softball has quite a few games in there. Soccer is all practice. Like football, they practice and have games here,
So what leagues for softball play, like have games out at Swenson? Like, what age or what
Mostly like
what
high school,
leagues?
right?
I was gonna say, I would say
'Cause I know high school
teens
does.
and older,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't see little
Besides high
kids
school,
out
is there-
there.
is
I don't
there
know
any
what they
games?
call them, if they're U, whatever.
Is there any games during the summer for softball?
Yeah, yeah.
They have an actual league that they play, Monday through Thursday or
Monday
Tuesday
through Thursday, we got
There's pretty much.
the
all
fields
fields
booked,
pretty
yeah.
much full.
Yeah.
Do we know what league they're playing in? Like what league
That's-
is actually
that-
utilizing the?
I think that's part of that Sioux Falls League.
I think it
I was
is.
gonna say, they book it under the Hartford Softball Association, but they're part of the larger Sioux Falls League, yeah.
Is it HASB, is that what, or is it W?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hartford Area Softball Association.
Yeah, Hartford Area
And then
Softball
they,
Association.
yeah, they pay into the,
And they pay into the, like
Sioux
you said,
Falls.
that Sioux Falls Association, kind of like your baseball's doing.
Yeah, like that would be a much easier way to, like, you gotta decide if that's what you wanna do, but like they're collecting money and then they're going into the league, but then they're utilizing the field
yep.
to play, just like that league is utilizing Sioux Falls, like,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be the
Yep.
one way, but.
I know years ago, I contacted them and they said that some of the money that they make is supposed to go back to help the towns with field stuff, but they finally bought us a batting cage net one year. It was like tough to get anything out of them, so.
Mm-hmm. And what they say, like, they got, out of $100 registration fee, like $95 goes to Sioux Falls and $5 goes to their jersey or something like that. Like, it's like they're not, so they would have to raise their prices, right?
Yeah. But it would be easier to collect it that way than $5 a kid.
Yeah,
Like that's just a hassle.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah. So,
Okay.
good thoughts, good ways to talk about it. I think we can keep moving on that one. Unless anybody else has anything to add. And then I guess to roll into that, we're moving under a 26 budget item, so I'm just gonna roll into that softball, agri-lime on field day, so, because you're following, I'm sure you gotta go to the softball games as a athletic trainer, so they were going out there because the field was in better condition, but they prefer to be right across from the high school on
Yeah,
that
that's
field.
awesome.
Because they got lights, it's right there, but the infield, the agri-lime is pretty sandy, so this spring we're gonna dig that out and put all the agri-lime in there, and then we're hoping, I mean, Craig had some contacts on some turf guys that maybe wanted to try to do something, or potentially could have tried to do something to work on our outfield, or get some sprinklers or something on it. I think we were talking, I don't exactly know where we got on that, but we were looking at it, but that's one of the things we're trying to do for the school, as kind of look back and forth with the school to give them better opportunities. And
Yeah, I know from being out at both, like, the Swenson field's nice, like, it plays way better.
Yeah,
You're kind of a long ways from the school, it's easier to get kids to come watch you when you're just literally walking across
Uh-huh.
there, and they got more treat, you know?
Yeah.
That type of deal, but the
In-
field is
in town.
much nicer at Swenson, and
yeah.
nice.
So we're trying to
Fencing,
improve
too,
it.
it's better protection, it's safer,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was, we came up with that, talking to the superintendent, he came to a meeting discussing that, so that's how we kind of settled on that. And, but yeah, we're hoping that makes a big difference for them, and they can get back to playing under the lights and having fun, and, because, putting lights out at Swenson is, you know, probably creeping up on $2 million at this point.
Yeah.
So, it's a big deal. This year in Lyons Park, so that's the main park, we got a playground system approved, and we're moving forward with that, and Wendy did a lot of legwork on that one for us, finding us playground system. We were able to put a down payment on it before the new year to lock in some pretty good discounts there, and that's gonna be, aimed for like, we got a 0 to 2.
Yeah, there's
spot,
a
and then-
little area for like 6 months to 23 months, and then 2 to 5.
Yeah.
Because that other park that's there is 5 to 12.
Yep.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
And then there'll be a couple musical instruments, and then a spinny chair
Yep.
as well, a little.
So just kind of right next to everything.
Yeah, I think,
That's
Be
same
right
as
to
that
the
right now?
east.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Yep.
So from the main, pretty much about north from where the main equipment's at right now.
kind of close to that sidewalk that goes by the softball fields and that.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
it'd be nice. I don't know if you're taking your kids there or not, but
A couple times.
you're walking around like, when they
Right.
catch this
I
kid.
mean, I'm following her around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, so,
Yeah, it's pretty big, so yeah.
yeah, I think
It's
that'll be
a
good.
spring timeline, just weather dependent. They kind of fit us in when the weather cooperates in our area,
And
which we don't know what that
yeah, we budgeted for them to do a full install, and, I mean, they can come in and they can knock it out quick, and then hopefully it leaves Craig and his team able to do other stuff, even though they'll be there along that thing for sure, but, they have a lot of stuff on their plate, so. And then the next thing is we got another pickleball court approved, so, and then this one is a set of 2 pickleball courts that's gonna go in, just in addition to the 2 that are there. And the reason we're doing just one set at a time like this is because the cost is dramatically lower. Once we get to 2, then the price point puts us into, now we're taking like open bids, we're running it through engineering just because of the price point. So if we do it one at a time, it saves about 40% of the cost to do it one at a time a year. So pickleball seems to be not going anywhere, and it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of people using it. Even, you know, even on cold days, I go down to the park and people are playing pickleball. So we're gonna keep building that out and working on that. And then we got a practice board donated to us, so we'll hang that in one of the pickleball areas too. And then
What's a practice board?
it's just on the wall, basically. It's like, you know, if you watched Forrest Gump hitting the
Oh,
table
yeah,
by
yeah.
himself, it's kind
You
of the
play
same
by
idea
yourself,
for
essentially.
pickleball,
You
so,
can head against the wall.
yeah.
I don't know what you're making it out of, but,
Every Saturday.
yeah.
Beaverville, right?
I don't know if you noticed, my note and report, though, there was a little bit of discussion by the city council about doing the concrete a little bit differently, putting tension rods in them, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
tension
I don't know anything
cable.
about it. But, it's supposed to help cut down on cracking and whatnot, so we had our engineers come check into it. That boosts the price up significantly. Craig's gonna do a little more
Maybe
checking.
some research on it a little
Sure.
more.
Yeah.
See if it's even possible to do it right now, since we've already got the one cord in.
Mhm.
I looked at it the other day when the plumbers were down there doing the work on that bathroom there. The only cracks that I seen were the saw cut cracks, so
Mhm.
I think there'll be a way just to fill that, and hopefully we'll utilize them without having
Yeah.
to stick a lot of money into them to try to protect them, so.
And maybe,
But I got some research to do on that, and I'll talk to some
Right.
concrete guys, plus there's a concrete guy through the state that, that's all he does is concrete, so I'll talk to him.
he'll know if it's worth it or
It's
not.
Yeah.
An engineer estimates always seem to be always high, so maybe it's not quite that high from what he did, but
But then
Craig can
you-
do some more checking
Then
and
you'll have the
see.
engineer fees, and then you gotta advertise it.
Yeah, so-
It's gonna
So
be-
that'll spend all of our
It's
extra
gonna be-
30,000.
Right, exactly.
I think that
So,
125 was, I thought that was just for asphalt.
I think it was just for the
125,000.
one cord.
One cord, yeah, so what,
Right, not the double
I didn't get
cord.
a chance to look at his
Wow.
email that he sent over that goes yet, so.
So,
We'll be doing some more research on that to
Mhm.
get, hopefully by the end of, for the next meeting, hopefully we'll have some more answers for it. So,
I mean, if it's something feasible that we can do within our budget, I mean, it makes sense, but we'll see what we come up with, and, yeah, talk about it some more at our next meeting.
Very good. And then, obviously, the egg lime on field day, we discussed that. Out at Swenson Park, the Swenson family said they wanted to donate towards a new sign. And did we?
You don't read my report, do you? No?
I'm sorry.
They decided they're not going to donate now.
Okay.
I did contact them, sent a picture, here's what we're, doing. They thought it was great, it was a lovely sign, they like it, but since we already have money budgeted, they'll forego the donating.
Oh,
So, yeah,
all right.
I know, it's like, so.
So we got a new sign that we're putting out there.
Are you still installing it?
Yeah, so we did budget for the full price, because we didn't have a specific dollar amount said to us what they wanted to donate, right? So-
Right, yeah, they said, well, we'll think about donating it, or donating something, but they never gave us the amount, so we did budget the full amount, and then when we went back to them and said, well, we budgeted, but we'd appreciate any donation, they said, well, if you budget it, then we're not gonna donate. So, oh,
I
yeah.
think it'll look nice though, because it's the same design as the entrance to the cities.
Yeah.
So it's the same format, like
Yeah, so
as
kind
that.
of
So
just-
it'll kind of tie in everything
Right.
with the city.
Yeah, and I did put it on order since they released the funds, because it's about what did they tell me, 6 to 8 weeks, is that what they told me? Yeah, that's what I want to say. Production in it, so, get them started on that, so hopefully by this spring we can, get it on.
That'll
And
be
and they'll
good.
come out and they'll set it and everything for
Oh,
us.
very good.
so.
Yeah.
Very good.
So that'll be a nice addition.
Swenson Park shade structures and bleachers, so just trying to expand on the ball fields that we have out there. We're trying to get some shade structures put up, and then some bigger bleachers for the most used fields. And with the bleachers, there's a size where, once you get so big, the price, obviously, like everything, that it's linear, and then there's a jump, because then you gotta get back rails and side rails and all the safety stuff, so. We're working on that, but we did get approved to put shade structures and bleachers out there, along with 2 new scoreboards, and then netting between black tie and the soccer fields, trying to hold some runaway soccer balls and stuff like that, so. Turtle Creek, we got concrete tee pads for the disc golf course approved as well, and then we do have some possible additionals with the unallocated funds, or maybe that's gonna go into some tensioning routes for the pickleball.
It might be,
So,
might be.
we'll see what happens with that. There is a 1 to 5 capital parks improvement plan, Chad, so, I think in the packet here, I'll find where it is, I just had it. But it's kind of our running list of ideas that we have, and it looks like this. So ideas that are on there, yep, very good. And so the 2026 column, that's the stuff that we got approved for this year. 2027, that's the stuff that we're looking for, so you can see pickleball courts, we already have kind of penciled in there as a continuing thing, so we can grow that out year by year. But then below that, you know, that we kind of just start marking off, numbering what things we would like to see first, and then other ideas you have, we can start writing those in too. So we encourage any meeting that we come to, we review this until it's time to ask for budget, and then Craig does a really good job on running down pricing and feasibility and stuff like that for us. So if you're talking to people in the community and they're like, hey, we'd love to have this or whatever. And also, you know, we do try to give attention to all the parks, and we're trying to give attention to new parks that may be coming and stuff like that too, or accessibility to the parks and trails and stuff like that. So anything you hear, any of the ideas you have, feel free to let us know, write it in on the list, and move it around, so.
Sounds good.
So one thing with the CIP, probably, what do you think, Teresa, 2028, we'll probably have another park started?
I would say so. So we got a new development on the Jans. It's going to be right, you know, east side of town, east of those Maple Pass apartments. That's going to be a new residential development. We are approving plans right now. Looks like they will start some dirt work this year, but in it, they have donated land for a park, which is great because we need it in that area. So, yeah, by the time they get the infrastructure one in there, probably be a couple of years, that we'll have to start thinking about, yeah, setting that park up, you know, with equipment or, you know, shelters and different stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, probably in a couple of years, we can start thinking about something in the new park.
Very good. I'm not sure if I can get you an email copy, but this is a copy of the Parks and Rec Master Plan we had put together for us by, what was it?
ISG.
Yeah, ISG Engineering. They did a audit of the city and inventory and kind of gave us maybe sort of a roadmap, so we have something to shoot for, so we're not just haphazardly placing stuff around the town, and then we try to come together and go, well, we can't go there because we did that, you know, at least we have a direction, or at least things you can look at and pick out, and maybe if you see things in there that you think we could really start attacking, then feel free, but you can take that and get that.
I said, I can email that to you. We also did a survey a couple of years ago, or maybe it's been 3 years now, kind of sent it out to the citizens about things they would like to see or whatever, and I can send you that survey too, to kind of give you some ideas of what some of the community was thinking or whatnot, so I'll send both those things to you for your reference.
Thank you.
Everybody asks for a new pool, but that's outside of
Yeah,
scope.
we know we
by
need a
law.
pool.
By a long shot.
We do know.
That's a big one. That's like a bigger bond than the schools. So to get in the pool, it's a big deal. So if you want to talk more about that, we can talk about it offline. We've discussed it a lot. I guess any updates to any of that stuff, Craig, that you want to talk about that we kind of flew through there on the
No, I think we're
26
good for
budget
now at
items?
this time. I think
Okay.
we covered it pretty good.
So, I think the next thing we can discuss possible grants, for the application, for submission to build trails out for the Swenson Park Trail. There's a, Game Fish and Parks grant that, they do cover some stuff like that. It's geared for, I think this one was specifically for South Dakota, right?
Yes.
So,
This is the South Dakota Game Fish and Parks. It's an 80-20 grant, so that's pretty good. You usually don't get much over that. We've used this before for a couple of our trails. Game Fish and Parks is very good to work with, a little bit easier than the state to work with and get funds out of and to work with getting a trail in. This grant has an application deadline though in April, so we should decide now. If we would apply, what we would do is, if you guys want to move forward, we would apply for this grant now, and we'd have to get permission for the city council, but we can ask that at the next council meeting. But we'd apply for the grant now. We've already got the cost estimate, kind of a rendering, and we've got most stuff we need to get the application done. I think we can get it submitted this month here in March. It usually takes them, usually we hear late summer, early fall, whether you receive the funds or not. Obviously, then you've got to go into design work or whatnot and bidding it out. So it's going to be a next year project, actually, before you know the funds are going to need it. So if we're here on the grant, that's something we can definitely work into our CIP and ask for a budget time or whatnot. But if we, like I said, it takes a year process to get the grant, but so you want to think about, I would encourage maybe let's apply for it now, see if we can get it or whatnot, and then we know then in next year, 2027, we can start moving forward with that. And this would be a trail, Chad, that would go from basically up by the building center, and it would go up to the sports complex there, so it would give a trail for like kids to bike there or walk there or whatnot, so it can be a nice addition.
Yeah. And with that, we did, I don't know how to say it, recycle, reclaim the playground equipment that was at the school, and that is gonna be put up out there by Swenson Park too, so this would be nice access, maybe for like the kids in the duck trail or party area to be able to get over and get to that park, and it'd be a closer park without crossing any highways for them, so.
More trails the better.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to put in, start the grant process.
I'll second.
All right, and then we probably gotta take a vote on it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay? All right, so
We can't vote, so.
Yeah.
3-0 vote for applying for a grant.
Got a quorum, so
All
there you go.
right, very good.
All right, I will put that on the next city council agenda here coming Tuesday, and if they're good with it too, we will start working on getting that application out.
Perfect, thank you. Next, we have new business. Right-
Oh, yeah.
You know, I should have a little
He
bit
does
of
have
capital
it.
improvements, but I can, if you
Oh,
want to
okay.
do new business, and then it's more of an informational thing. than
No, yeah, go
anything else.
ahead, go ahead.
So it's a little bit touching on that pool thing, and I'm just, I had a couple of ideas, because the pool is going to be the $10 or $12 million, and you're talking about maybe 5 years from now. Well, I know that there's a huge capital expense coming in from the city at about the same time. So you're looking at a competing 10 to 12 million to 10 to 12 million. So you're looking at 20 million, and that's sort of, it might be really hard to approve a new pool. I'm just guessing, but when it comes down to crunch time, I know the other one's gonna win out, I would think. So, well, I was
And when we
thinking,
start,
well,
what we're looking at,
what-
and needing a new water tower probably, by then, or additional water tower.
Sure.
Okay.
So then, if, and that's sort of a critical thing. So I said, well, just for fun, I think one of the city council members was down in Kansas City playing pickleball, and he mentioned this really nice facility there. And I took a look, and I actually pulled up a different one. It was a 4-court pickleball thing with, and then they had one that was inflatable ropes, you know,
Oh, yeah.
temporary thing.
Yeah.
So then they could play it during the winter,
Yeah.
and then they would just take it down in the summertime. And they had even a little concession stands in there, but it looked pretty nice. They even had some pictures here if you want. And then I looked up the property value on their tax statement, and it was about $550,000. So that's one option. I mean, you could build a lot of pickleball courts for that. I know you would, because if instead of the pool. The other one is this place is in Sioux Falls. It's for sale right now. It's called Sports Games. I don't know if you've ever been over there. It's over by like Dolly Farms and all those softball fields over there. So here's some pictures of it inside. But they have a basketball court, field house, golf simulators, and like a concession area. And then they also run 135 kids through a daycare in there. And right now it's on sale for $4 million. So if you're looking for an alternative for a pool, this is an all-year thing instead of a 4-month thing that the city could use. This would be an all-year thing. And, you know, I don't know. we wanted to actually get into like almost commercial real estate thing, because then you could maybe lease this out to, somebody like Great Life or anybody else. If you built a building and we have the city owned the ground, then we would have tax revenue if they did all the staffing and then general maintenance of it, and then all we would have to, maybe just take care of the building type of thing. Well, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying we should do this or anything. I'm just throwing it out there that there are some alternatives there that maybe if we don't do the pool, maybe we can do something for half that price. That's spectacular, because this place looks great. And yeah, like I said, I think it's on sale for $4 million right now. So then, if you want me to, I can actually go check it out. In the whole thing, if you want to. It's just sort of an internet type search I've been doing the last couple of weeks. But it's something to think about, that we may not be just an alternative to the pool. There's other things. That's it. That's my concerns. Thanks.
Very good. Yeah, I love the idea of like a wellness center or something. I know, like, if we had a wellness center in Hartford, I would love it. I'd be all in support if we could have something like that. Indoor gyms and large space like that.
And then the daycare thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Daycare's
you set
a
up
huge
to some
need.
business and, yeah.
In the community.
Let the
There's
kids
some
run the
places
place.
in Sioux Falls like that, isn't there, that have like a daycare and then gym facilities?
Yeah, it's
and-
called
Yeah.
sports games.
Oh, that is the one you're talking about, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're one of
That it was in Sioux
them.
Falls.
There's probably
I thought it
more,
was
but,
sure.
yeah. Then you just book it online and off you go. Looks fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Sports games. And then the pickleball enclosure was like a blow up thing, like they
Yeah, they
locked it
just-
in and then.
Was that
I-
in Wichita or Derby?
No,
Oh.
Kansas City is down in Overton, or is it Overton Park or something like that? Is that right?
Overland Park, yeah.
Overland Park, okay.
I know, like,
I got some pictures of that too.
Yeah, we went to one down there that was like
A
that.
little
It
bit,
was,
but bigger though, I think.
Yeah, it was by Wichita, but they had like one of those inflatable domes, and they had sand volleyball courts and
Yeah,
pickleball
you can do all
courts.
sorts of stuff with
And
that.
then
They
cornhole
just pop
on
those
this
up.
turf area, and then they just close it in the winter and open it in the summer.
I know, like the Great Life, Wood Lake, that's how their pool used to be before it was a Great Lake, and they just had, like these tracks, and you put this tarp down, and they had a big fan, and it blew it up, and then they could use their pool through the winter, and then they took that off in the summertime, and they could open the pool, so I'm assuming it's a very similar type setup, and you put it over whatever. Right.
I wonder how that would work with our difference in temperature.
Well,
Eventually,
they-
Hey, you're gonna have to heat
eventually it's
something.
gonna be, it's either
Yeah.
too cold, or you have to have some type of heater in there to
Yeah.
keep it warmed up, so.
Because they had one in Sioux Falls,
That golf place.
the
Behind-
golf thing or the,
behind
whatever they
Shop
play,
Bill
soccer
Shop.
games or something like that on the turf inside.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's in anymore.
Very good. Well, the chamber has been patiently waiting for their turn to talk about their lights, so we can move on to the new business, review the chamber application for economic development funds. We can just skip on to the, is this the right spot for you, or are we down further for?
No, this should be the right spot for us.
Okay, very good.
You can present her review.
Yeah, well, come on up.
Do they have the whole packet?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the chamber's proposal to add lights to Turtle Creek along the walking trail. They would be the same lights that are out here on Main Street, but ours would have availability for 2 banners instead of the 1 banner in the hanging basket. So there's a lot of projects that the chamber would like to do with it, as far as offering like sponsorship opportunities for the businesses to advertise, but also to expand the Veterans Banner Program, and potentially work with the school on like during the month of May, highlighting the seniors on the light poles also with their like our senior photos and stuff. But it would meet economic development in a number of different ways, just adding lights to that trail because there's no light out there. Specifically just on the part between Fighter and the dog park. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions?
I do.
Yes, oh, I knew you would, I knew you would.
The double banners, how are they gonna hold up in the wind within poles?
Well, you just be, like, is it gonna be different than the ones with the single banners? I think we would still have to have like a season where they're not up. Just because they're gonna wear so much worse in the winter that they're probably gonna have to be down by November after
Yeah.
Veterans Day and not come back up.
People don't
until probably
walk as
March.
much in the winter
Right.
too.
Yep, yep.
You figuring,
If it's snowy especially.
are you figuring the poles to be 4 foot in the ground then, and concrete in?
I was gonna default to you for that.
The ones out here got the bolt pattern where they actually bolt down, they will not work out there
Okay.
to go solid poles, because in here, the ones, it's got a weld around it, and that weld's been cracking on these, so we've already fixed 3 or 4 of them so far.
Okay.
So make sure we go with the, if you go with it, make sure we go with solid pole all the way
With a
down.
solid vote, okay. I can reach back out to him before the meeting on
Yeah,
Tuesday
so
too
you
and
get
get
it, see if you got an
clarification on that.
updated cost estimate.
Yep.
Maybe we can get together too and kind of look at what you're going to learn.
Okay.
'Cause, yeah,
If
this
it's go-
this proposal is the ones that are like, the ones that they have where the bolt pull
Yep,
pattern
and
is down there,
I
so.
wouldn't feel comfortable with those, I think
Okay.
they'd be breaking off in the wind.
Sure.
They just
Probably
take
catch
too
a
much,
lot more wind
they
out
just
there.
take too much vibration, it cracks that weld.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep, I can reach out to him. He gets back to me pretty quickly, so.
Very good. So the overall, how many lights are you guys planning on putting up?
We're wanting to purchase 50.
Okay.
And I think it would be, for the stretch that we have on the map, would be 46. So we would have a few extra that can be added to, we'd like to work with DHI and see what they would like to continue doing with theirs. I know they want to continue to theirs down. But our goal would be to add to it in the future. So like how you guys were talking about doing a trail up to Swenson Park and stuff, that again, there's not a ton of tree coverage, that'd be a great spot for us to plan on moving towards also. And just some like city beautification, just add some color out there.
And the idea is you guys would buy them and for the city would put them up and maintain them, and then you guys would hold the advertising rights on the banners.
Yep,
correct?
yep, and we'd have, for all the polls, just on, just a rate, if there wasn't a sponsorship cycle happening, there'd be a city banner on one side and then whatever other banner we display on the other side. For situations like the Veterans Banner Program, for those 2 weeks in November and 2 weeks in July, we would just take over as many as we could just for that display.
Very good. And then the chamber would do all the banner changing and
Yep, we
stuff?
would maintain the banners.
Okay.
Yep, so when they need to be replaced, whether they're city banners or our banners, we would maintain the banners.
Well, From my point of view, I think it sounds great, but also I'm not in charge of maintaining them, so, and then I guess for you guys, our job here is just, we can give our blessing and then she can go on to the city council.
It would be a recommendation to the city council, they would have final say. As far as city regulations and whatnot, because we do have some lighting regulations, I think this would meet all those regulations, and then a majority of where they're gonna put them is gonna be either in city right away or on city property. I don't see that as being an issue. We did talk about, right by the soccer fields, there's a stretch of trail that is not city property, is the schools, so Jill's gonna reach out to the school, because they will need permission for that. We have an access agreement to put the trail in there, but we don't have any agreement for utilities, so she will need to get permission from the school to go that stretch that's on their property. But as far as the rest of the trail, like I said, it'd all be city right away or city property there then.
Very good. So we need a motion for a recommendation, is that what we're?
Yep.
All right. Does anybody want to make a motion to recommend this to the council, or I can make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, very good. I'll second the motion. And then do we need to vote on it, or just?
Yep, you need
okay.
to vote.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Very good. Any nays?
And it is to approve it, right?
Yes, recommendations
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I'll put it then on the council's agenda for
Okay.
Tuesday for that.
And I just emailed Dr. Knight, so I'll let you know as soon as I hear back from him.
Perfect.
Very good. And then, on the new business is a special meeting with Gateway Hartford Inc. If you guys aren't familiar with Gateway Hartford, it is a nonprofit group that was formed to help reclaim the sewer ponds that we have up there. So the city needed a nonprofit entity to be able to work for grants, basically. The grant can't go to the city, it has to go to an entity, so this entity was formed. The land was it transferred already, or has it been
Yes.
transferred? So this land was transferred to this Gateway Hartford, so they could reclaim and get grants to start the reclamation process, and then hopefully a development process and getting business and other things. I'm not exactly sure the whole plan, but that's the general overview. And so they were looking to get a meeting with the Parks and Rec Board as well, correct?
Yes, so Frank Blaine, who's on the board, attended one of the meetings GHI has had. It was kind of just a planning session. So basically, they would like a couple members to sit down with them again and talk about, like I said, they're gonna try to remediate the lagoons and then redevelop that area. So kind of talk about what for park amenities would you like to see in that area, trails or a little pocket park or a fountain, or, you know, kind of get some ideas and some feedback as they work on this plan to redevelop it. So, 3 of you are quorum, so only 2 of you can go to this meeting, but they did throw out some dates that I had in the packet here when they would like to meet, either March 3rd, 4th, or 11th. I don't know if you guys have checked your calendars, but if a couple of them can meet that. And they didn't have any time set, but they said they could do, you know, early morning or later afternoon or early evening to kind of work around people's work schedule, so.
March 3rd, 4th, and what?
11th is what the dates they threw out there.
I mean, I'm available.
Yeah, I think
Pretty open.
the 3rd or 4th, anytime, or the 11th really seems like that would be open as well. So, you want to jump on that, Chad?
Sure.
We can reach out to them and see what they have for possible times, and
And then Frank was the other one, or no, not necessarily? Or-
He didn't really indicate to me
Okay.
what he had available, because
Okay.
I just put it on the agenda for the meeting, so
Okay.
maybe he's ducking on that.
Yeah.
If he wants to jump on that, and he's already talked to them, not, yeah, totally.
but we can only have 2,
I
right?
think
'Cause
we
if
only
it's-
have 2,
if
because
it's
otherwise
3,
we
we'd
got
have a
a
quorum meeting.
meeting quorum. So, want me to reach out to Frank, and would you say you would be available, Chad, any of them?
Yeah.
Does it matter
This can't be
time-wise?
afternoon, late afternoon, yeah.
Late afternoon, okay.
Can't be late afternoon?
Can't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when Frank comes back, because that's next week already.
Mm-hmm.
So, he may not be around. Do I have a backup in case he isn't? Do you like you to?
Yeah, I think Chad or I both could go, so either one, or both of us would be fine.
I'll
Unless you
reach
really
out.
want to go, Wendy, I don't want to
No,
steal your thunder.
no, that's all right. I have a conflict of interest with that. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll reach out to
Travis
Frank
about that.
tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, yeah, maybe.
Kind of, so maybe that's why I was kind of
Yeah.
You might,
thinking
yeah.
somebody else should go.
I'll reach out to Frank tomorrow to see when he does come back,
Yeah.
if he'd be available or not, and if he's not available, I'll.
If he wants to do it, or if he's okay with
Right,
anybody, so,
exactly, yeah.
Okay, very good, and then we can reach out to
Okay. I'll
Travis
work
or
with
the
you guys.
mayor or anybody on that and make a plan.
Okay, we can do that.
And then new business, discuss possible ideas for 250th year of our independence, huh?
Yeah, and I just threw this out there, I mean, nothing that has to be decided or thought. I just want you guys to maybe start thinking about it, because as many ideas as we have, that would be great. The council's gonna start talking about it. This is America's 250th, and of course, communities are trying to think of ways to kind of recognize that. I know Craig, we talked a little bit, Craig's on the Jamboree Committee, it's talked to them a little bit about incorporating something with the Jamboree days, whether it's with a parade theme, or, you know, I know a lot of towns are looking at putting up, you know, special flags or
Flags.
banners and whatnot, which I think, since we have room for banners, that'd be a great thing to do here. I know some other things. The state site has some suggestions or whatever, you know, maybe on the 4th, do fireworks, which probably everybody's gonna do, so we probably won't find anybody to do fireworks, but, or have a community meal or something, you know, have dogs and chips, serve a community meal, or, you know, just, I guess, if you guys have any ideas that you know, you think of or whatnot, think might be good, you know, just let me know, and, you know, like I said, council's gonna start thinking about it, and start thinking what we can do for it, to recognize it.
How old is Hartford?
How old is Hartford? 18, what, 93 or 83? 89, so somewhere in the 1880s or 90s.
Well, I'm just wondering if there was you know, on a.
We did the 125th, quite a few years ago.
Oh, I said, that's pretty.
Yeah, that was probably,
I don't know if you could combine the 250 and if it's 130 or 135 or something like that, you know.
I'll have to look that up for sure to see.
I think I parked right in front of the sign that says it. But,
Yeah, it's on that
It's on
sign.
the park, I think it's right there, it's right in front of my car, but. I'll take a
Look, I'm
and
not
go.
sure how old we'd be.
Let's say if it's 130 or something like that, maybe we can make
because there's
a hat or a
yeah,
t-shirt or
there's two
something like
different
that.
dates for the,
Yeah, it says it was established as a railroad town in 1881. It was settled in 1878 as Oaksville, and in 1880 it took the name Hartford, and then
But we didn't incorporate it.
incorporated in 1896.
I was gonna say it was incorporated there, so I was thinking in the 90s is when our corporation papers are. What does that make us? So was 96 then?
Let's say, yeah. It
Yeah, it
says-
might be one.
130.
130 for Hartford.
There you go, you could do a 250 and a 130 t-shirt sale or something like that, or make some money for that.
There we go.
There you go. You'll get your chance to talk about, we're gonna talk about Tuesday some more, so yeah. there you go.
I get an excuse to absence, so I'll miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there, if you have any ideas,
Yeah,
let us know.
Or a beer.
Yeah.
Maybe that's more appropriate.
Very good. Very good. So yeah, great things to put on the agenda, start thinking about. We can review the agenda items for the March meeting. Do we have anything you guys want to add onto it, or any ideas you guys have? We can throw those on there.
I wonder if we should see if anybody wants to, like Frank and Duncan did the booth at Jamboree Days, that one. We should-
Oh, yeah.
You guys should talk about maybe doing something like that again.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got plenty of time to think about it, just something to keep on the back burner.
Yeah. Should we throw that on the agenda, or should we? Do we want to? Our two fearless leaders
is that
here.
the 20th? That, is that,
I think.
is it the
yeah.
weekend after Father's Day?
No, it's Father's Day.
Is it Father's Day
I think
weekend?
It's Father's Day.
Okay.
Always Father's Day.
Third Saturday, whatever, what Saturday is. I don't know, I'm just on committee.
Yeah, what does he know, yeah.
You don't have the date?
Their meeting.
Oh, yeah, so that'd be the 20th.
I heard you're putting your doodling in the burnout contest this year.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Sure, wouldn't get in trouble for that.
Yeah. As long as you got fenders, right? That's like the only rule I've seen on that deal. Pretty good. So I think we can throw that on there.
Yep.
A discussion of setting up a table for Jamboree Day. And did we rent a booth from them last year to do that, or did they just
I
create
think
a
since it's
space?
informational, it's free.
It was,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Anybody have anything else they would like to see on the March meeting? Okay, is everybody good with the March 23rd meeting date? Anybody have conflicts they would like to talk about, or any big deals?
It might not be back. It might not be there. I don't think I will be at the meeting.
Okay. Well, the show will go on without Craig. Very good. All right, otherwise, we can get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And we are adjourned. Congrats, you made it through your first Park and Rec meeting, Chad.
Yeah. Smooth.